Hi Class 2, it's just Mrs. Lewis again. Today I thought we'd have a look at the piece of writing that we looked at the other day where we were putting the capital letters in the sentence to make it correct. And I thought we would see if we could maybe improve this piece of writing and add to it a little bit because it could possibly form the beginning of a story. So remember, when we first do a piece of writing, sometimes we say it's important to go back and look at that and see if we can improve it, because sometimes the very first idea we have and the very first sentences we write down might not be the best ones. So we talk about things like adding adjectives into our writing to extend our sentences, using conjunctions also to extend our sentences and to give our reader a bit more information. Because remember, when we're writing things down, we're always writing down for somebody else to read, so we want it to be as interesting for them as we can possibly make it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at this sentence again, and we're going to see if we can add in any extra details, any extra adjectives and things to make our sentence a bit more interesting for the reader. So we started with on Monday. Now I think it might be good if we maybe give the reader a bit more information about what time of day it was. So we could say things like on Monday morning, or on Monday afternoon, or Monday evening, Monday night. Any of those would give the reader a bit more information. So what I'll do is I'll put our little arrow in and I will add, I think for this one I will add morning. But you could choose a different word to add in. So this is a little bit of editing that we're going to do. So on Monday morning, Eleanor walked her dog Max. Now again, I think I could give a little bit more information about this dog Max. I could say what type of dog it is, couldn't I? Or I could talk about the age of the dog, her old dog Max or her young dog Max. But I think for this sentence, I think I'll add in the word puppy. I want the reader to know that this is a young dog. It's a puppy dog, so she hasn't had it very long. Okay, so a little bit extra information there for the reader. So on Monday morning, Eleanor walked her puppy dog Max along the beach in South Shields. Now, I think I'll expand this noun phrase a little bit by giving a bit more information about the beach. So I'm going to use some adjectives to describe the beach to the reader. So I'm going to use the word, golden, because I like that word a lot. Golden. The golden beach, or the golden sandy beach. Oh, I like the sound of that. Now remember, boys and girls, when we use two adjectives together like that, we need to separate them with a comma. So I'll just add a little comma in there. I think now this sentence is a little bit more interesting to the reader. Let's have a read. On Monday morning, Eleanor walked her puppy dog Max along the golden sandy beach in South Shields. Oh, now by using those extra adjectives and things, I can actually now picture Eleanor walking her little puppy dog Max along that lovely golden beach in South Shields. So I'll leave that bit for now because I think we've improved that a little bit. Let's see if I can add a little couple of extra sentences on, and maybe this could form the beginning of a story. So I want to talk about as she's walking along. So I might say as, remember my capital letter because this is a new sentence, as she, now I'll talk about that in a second, as she reached the edge, it's a good word, isn't it? As she reached the edge of the water. Now I'm going to use a conjunction here because I'm going to extend this sentence to say something else that happened. So as she reached the edge of the water, I'm going to add on to it and. So as she reached the edge of the water and looked out to sea. So as she reached the edge of the water and looked out to sea, something, I'm not going to say what it is yet, I'm going to keep the reader in suspense, so I'll just say something in the distance. Something in the distance caught her eye. Oh, her eye. Full stop, because that's going to be the end of my sentence. So let's just go back over that a second to talk about some of the things we've done there. So I've underlined this word she to remind me to come back and talk to you about that, because I don't need to say her name again, because I know I'm talking about Eleanor. So I'm using the pronoun she rather than repeating her name. Okay, so we don't want to keep repeating the person's name in the story all the time. So as she reached, or as she got to the edge, or as she arrived at the edge. So there's different words I could have used there, different verbs I could have chosen. As she reached the edge of the water and, using a conjunction here to extend my sentence, and looked out to sea, I could have said peered out to sea, peeked out to sea, different verbs there that I could have used. And looked out to see something, I'm not telling the reader what it is, I'm trying to keep them in suspense, something in the distance caught her eye. Now, what do you think the dog would be doing at this point? Because he's a puppy dog, and puppy dogs get really excited about things, don't they? So when puppy dogs get excited, what do? They probably bark, don't they? And they probably wag their tails and things. So I might say Max began to bark and wag his tail excitedly. Idly or edly? I think it's excitedly. Well done. Full stop. Okay. So this could form the start of a story if you would like to continue with it, boys and girls. Let's read through it one more time to see what we think. On Monday morning, Eleanor walked her puppy dog Max along the golden sandy beach in South Shields. As she reached the edge of the water and looked out to sea, something in the distance caught her eye. Max began to bark and wag his tail excitedly. So I've used an adverb there to describe how Max is wagging his tail. Okay, if you'd like to, you can maybe extend my story, and you could talk about what that something is in the distance that she's seen. Okay, and I'll see you again soon.